Welcome back to another episode of the Can-Oakland Chatter, where we spotlight people and stories shaping our rural communities. Today, we sat down with Ann Brown. She is the outreach coordinator with Sumner Mental Health Center, and we went through kind of what that new role is and maybe some things that people don't realize that are offered right here in Sumner County. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Can you just start out by telling us a little about yourself and your role at Sumner Health?
I am the Community Day Outreach Coordinator. My name is Ann, by the way. And so basically what that means is I run social media. I do community events within the center. I do a lot of their signage, brochures, anything on print. And it's really great because I get the opportunity to kind of brag about what we do and just let the community know what we're doing, where we are, and how we can help.
Have you always been in this field, or how did you take this role on?
Yes. So I have not always been in this field. Have a parent who is a psychologist. So I have grown up around mental health, and I've seen her working in that environment. I actually have a little bit of a graphic design background, but my last job, sometimes you get to that point where you're just like, this isn't working anymore. And it was very unfulfilling to me. And I thought I need to do something a little bit more meaningful. Mm-hmm. So when I was approached with this, I thought, okay, I can take my creativity and I can take my mental health background and kind of interest in it and combine the two and talk about Sumner Mental Health.
Well, that's interesting. Growing up with a parent already in that field, you probably have more of a comfort level than 90% of people.
Yes, hopefully. Although I am learning stuff every day. It's really incredible what they do. And it has been really interesting because she's been there for 30 years. And, that's been a majority of my life. But I've seen it from that outside perspective. So now to go in and see how it's working on the inside and see all the ins and outs and how they do help the community and everything like that, it's been really, really wonderful.
So what does a day-to-day or a week look like for you as their outreach coordinator?
So I'm usually scheduling and creating content. I get to do cool things like this.
She called us cool.
Yeah, super cool. I get to go to Chamber Coffee every Thursday, have a donut, some coffee, learn about Wellington. That's been really, really nice, just getting to know people there. And then I'm just doing a lot of computer work. And right now I'm planning an event, hopefully, for Wheat Fest. And this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I've been doing our campaign for that. So that's basically it. I mean, I'm just trying to reach out as much as I can.
So Sumner Mental Health serves all of Sumner County.
Yes.
And you mentioned the Wellington Chamber Coffee. Have you been to some other community, things that already happen in communities?
Yes.
Do you try to, I don't want to say infiltrate, but you try to join in on those as well?
We always go to the senior fair and the community baby shower. We've done the trick or treat down the street in Wellington, which the baby shower and the trick or treat are my two favorites because, the kids, obviously. But the baby shower is a really great event. They'll give away bicycle helmets, diaper bags, all kinds of stuff. So it's just nice to see them giving back to the community that way. We'll come down to Caldwell and do the health fair here and just other things like that. We'll try to do something with Wheat Fest. Content-wise, most of our content about SMHC and what we're doing on the inside is what gets the most attention. So, so I really like kind of turning that view onto what we do and how we treat each other and then how we, therefore, treat our clients because we really do genuinely care.
I like the outreach approach because I have always known that Sumner Mental Health exists, but it was just something in Wellington.
Yeah.
And I've never had some sort of emergency or something to make it seem more than just a closed four walls. They exist, but I didn't have any personal experience. So the outreach That must be really fulfilling.
It really is, because even now, I think the facility they're at right now on the edge of town
Mm-hmm.
I think it's at least, well, I know it's at least 20 plus years old. I think it was built in the 90s. So that's a long time to be around, but still have the misconception that, we're a hospital, first of all. We're not. And some people don't even know where we are, which is crazy, but that's just how it goes. If you don't need it, you may not necessarily seek it out. So it is really nice having the outreach aspect and having the digital presence as well.
Right.
Because that was lacking, but it's definitely needed in this day and age.
I know that Sumner Mental Health is involved in like the school already. Mm-hmm. There's a path. And does somebody meet with kids at the school?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty solidified there.
Yes. Yeah.
So that the outreach portion of it is more community based.
Yes. Community networking, those types of things. Yes. We have therapists in almost every school in Sumner County.
That's amazing.
Yes. Including Futures, which I think they just go up to preschool, but, it is really amazing. And we actually have a therapist who comes down to Caldwell every Wednesday and meets with people here. She does mostly adults, but we are out in the schools, and that is a great partnership. It is a really great way to meet them where they're at. Mm-hmm. We're busy these days, and we have a lot going on. And a lot of our feedback on, barriers to care is transportation and lack of childcare. So if we can get them where they're at and be that person for them, then that's great. And we have case managers that will follow through, peer support. So the school-based therapy is a really great asset to the community.
There is a therapist that comes down to the Caldwell Regional. Mm-hmm. And what is her name? Is
Natalie.
Natalie.
Yes.
I have heard that name a few times. I've heard all great things.
Good.
But was she also already coming down to Sumner County Hospital, or just when we built Caldwell? Is that a new pathway?
That is new, yes. And their facility is amazing, by the way. Yeah. So if there's anyone out there who hasn't been, hopefully it's not for, health problems, but it is an amazing facility, and they have been so wonderful working with us. But yes, I think she started doing that. It's been at least a year and a half, maybe, because she actually started with us as an intern.
Oh, okay.
And then she came on full time, and then she got her licensing. So
that's awesome.
She does some clients at the center, and then she'll come down here every Wednesday.
When I was reading just some information on mental health for Mental Health Awareness Month, it was talking about rural barriers, that the rates of mental health rates are basically the same in rural areas and urban areas, but the barriers are different. The access that you mentioned, traveling, childcare. So the fact that she can come down here on Wednesdays and the pathway is set up through the schools.
That's great.
I just think that's awesome.
Going back to our Mental Health Awareness Month, that's the whole core concept behind our campaign is connection. Yeah, so it's called Hope is Calling, Will Help You Pick Up. And basically, in a lot of the graphics, I chose to use the old rotary phone.
Oh, okay. Throwback.
Yes, throwback, because that was that's connection. You have to pick it up, and they have to hear your voice. You can't just shoot a quick text and, ignore when they text you back or whatever.
Right.
So you deliberately had to sit in one place if you didn't have a cordless phone and talk to someone. So that's kind of where we're trying to get back. Hello, pick up the phone. We want to help you,
Yeah. You mentioned that your services and your service area has expanded. Can you kind of go through what services you offer? Yes. Treat me like I'm someone who's completely new, that mental health exists and there's a center like yours.
Okay. So basically, like most community mental health centers, we offer adults, children, and then crisis services. For adults, we have a really great CSS program, which is community services, support services, individual placement support. So those are going to be the peer support and counselors and case managers who go out and help adults with severe mental illness get jobs, apply for education benefits, apply for regular benefits, and basically kind of teach them how to integrate into society and the community, because a lot of times people with mental illness, they want to do those things, but they just need a little extra help. So that's a great program. We have substance use disorder program treatment. And that's not just drugs and alcohol, although those are issues, obviously. But we also have someone certified to counsel in problem gambling, which has been great. For children, we mentioned the school-based. We also do therapy within the center as well. And that can be from, small to big. So we'll do play therapy or just regular, like other methods. Oh, and then our crisis services, we do have a crisis coordinator. We try to have a mobile crisis where it's a little difficult because we're still small compared to other places. But we always have therapists on call. And we have an after-hours emergency line. You can call us, during our business hours if you need help. But yeah, so whether you're just like having marriage problems or you have a drug abuse problem, we can help you. So we have those services that kind of range in that spectrum.
What is the difference between your after hours number and then 988?
Our after hours line is separate from 988. So the after hours line is actually through ComCare. So they're going to connect you like here regionally, like locally. 988 is a lifeline that's nationwide. It is geographically like, I don't know how you would say it. Like you're going to call from Kansas and get someone in Kansas answering. Whereas before, like they just got that down pretty recently. Whereas before you may call from Kansas and have somebody from like Maryland answer or something. Okay. So 988 is, I would consider that like a lifeline. Like that's going to be the preserver that you're going to reach out to and grab and hold on to, and they're going to tell you where to go. Our after hours line is going to maybe bring someone to you, like a therapist on call or something like that.
I just didn't know. I didn't know how that worked. And
it can be confusing, and I have to tell people it's not 911. But it's similar in the way that 911 is going to give you the resources to get help. 988 is going to give you the resources to get help mentally.
I was thinking what a long way we've come in such a short time. So my grandma was, no, don't get mad at me, my parents, 98, 96. But in her parents, her mom obviously had some mental health issues.
Yeah.
It wasn't even named. Like to the day she died, she could not name it.
Yeah.
She was just, never had to. But from going to that point to clear to now where there are so many names and different things that happen. Yes. It's just such progress has been made, but no wonder that there is such a stigma with it.
Yes.
Because just a generation ago, it didn't even have a name.
It wasn't long ago. And it wasn't long ago that people were still being just sent to the hospital,
Yes.
So, and that's
the ultimate horror stories. Yes.
Yes. So, yes, I definitely have seen that. And it's just really, it's really interesting to me because we do have the information now. We have the tools given to us. I mean, we have the world in our pocket on our phone. But at the same time, you do have to realize that pop psychology, which is like internet psychology, and real psychology are two different things. And we're seeing that also with rise of AI and people using AI as their counselor, which we don't suggest. Those things that are meant to help us and the tools that can open the door and break down the stigma can still kind of work against us in some ways. So again, like we're just circling back to that connection. Like you have to have those face-to-face connections.
circling back to AI,
Yes.
what, and seeing the rise of that, do you think people are doing that because it's easy, or they really are trusting it? Or is it a lack of resources? Or they just think the ultimate answer is ChatGPT is going to tell me what I need?
I think it's seen as accessible and easy, not as shameful, maybe. If you're at home and you're typing into a keyboard, the vulnerability isn't as scary because you're not face to face with someone. So, like, you know, it's like I said with the problem gambling and all of that, those things are meant to keep you on the hook. They're meant to talk to you and keep going and keep going. And they do. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't used ChatGPT. I have. Right. And it does. It prompts you when you're done. Well, hey, I can do these 3 things and I can do these 3 things. And so you start to kind of get this false sense of security with it. But you have to know that everything through AI is being sourced off the internet. So it's not necessarily original thought.
Or correct.
Exactly. It's very eye-opening, and it has been very eye-opening for me working in this industry and seeing what the internet is doing to people. That could be a whole nother episode.
Oh, yeah.
But AI does not know you. It does not see your body language. It can't prescribe you, you know, antipsychotics. It can't do those things. You need to see an actual person. And I know it's very overwhelming. And I think that is part of it too. I mean, we're kind of the generation that's like, oh, we're going out to a new restaurant. Let's look up the menu first. You know, we're anxious. But just, don't be overwhelmed. I mean, you're going to be, but work through it if you can, or get a friend to help or a loved one.
It doesn't have to be face-to-face forever. I found it really interesting. My friend, she has an established relationship with her therapist, you know, gone through years together. And now that therapist has an option where they do text at certain times or for certain needs. And I just, you know, don't let it stop you going through the process and finding a therapist, because there could be the right channel for you. It's not, you know, some of it needs to be in person. There's no way around that. But there is, you know, telehealth you can set up remotely, and you know, it may even come to eventually it could be through text, but it's still going to be a real person. You still have to go through a mental health professional for that.
And they know your history, and they know, it's like I said, when you're connecting with people, you're learning their habits, and you can see, I mean, if they haven't like taken a shower in 7 days, something's probably off if they're not usually like that. So they know how you live, they know your life, they know those types of things. And also finding a therapist, the first one may not work out.
Right. I was going to mention that. Yeah.
The first one may be wonderful, like everything you ever needed. You just have to try. And it is a process. Unfortunately, we're kind of in that like instantaneous world, you know.
Hey, I tried once and it didn't work.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's not always how it works. So patience, it takes patience and time. And I know people can do it, especially when you start to feel better. It just, you know, it feels good to know you're doing something for yourself. It's just taking those first couple steps.
What gives you hope right now when it comes to mental health awareness?
So when I think of hope and mental health awareness, I see it 2 places. I see it in the younger generation, because I feel like they're kind of growing up being more exposed to mental health and being exposed to the non-stigmatizing language and things like that. More directly, I do see it within our center. It takes a lot for someone to come in. We know that. And to see people walk up to the desk with a smile on their face, and we can greet them by their first name before they let us know. And then to see the children in the children's waiting area, because you know a trusted adult in their life made that decision to get them help. And again, that's that early intervention. Those things are hopeful, and you have to kind of take those little pieces of hope wherever you can get them. And you have to look like, you know, I'm a Mr. Rogers kid. I grew up on Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street, and he said, find the helpers. You know, when you feel overwhelmed, find the helpers, and they will tell you who's good. And I see a lot of good out there.
And one more, where can listeners go to learn more, reach out for help? I don't even know that people realize there might be a Facebook page.
Yes.
Or a lot of social media.
Yes. So we have Facebook and Instagram. I believe our Instagram is just at Sumner Mental Health. Facebook, same. Just look us up by name. I try to maintain it very well. So it should have the most recent information on it, which, by the way, if you do follow us on Facebook, we have a community needs assessment survey on there that we're asking the community to take.
Oh, awesome.
So we can get feedback on like how to help. And then those results go to the state. So then the state can help us help you. So all of that type of stuff. We have a website. I think it's sumnermentalhealth.org. So you can go there as well. The Facebook is updated more often and just more, I don't know, maybe user-friendly. They can call us at the center.
And of course, if you're more comfortable, you can go to your primary care.
Yes.
I know my primary care is in Caldwell, and that pathway is open and strong.
Yeah.
So you could go that route and
for sure
still end up in Sumner Mental Health.
You can still come see us.
Yes.
We want to help.
Well, thank you so much for being on today.
Yes,
and
thank you.
The right time for the end of Sumner Mental Awareness Month for Mental Awareness Month.
Yes, mental health awareness, but it is kind of it's a lot.
Yeah, and there's so many variations that I get myself caught up on those sometimes.
There's a lot of awareness days out there throughout the year. But this is a good one.